Okay, let's review some concepts and bring things together. These questions may look a little strange at first, but they're just taking some things we've seen and just pushing the envelope just a little bit. So let's look at if f of x equals root x plus 24, find and simplify f of negative 4. So what do we do is just take the f of x equals root x plus 24 and just one line below, just replace all the x's with negative 4s. So we have f of negative 4. That's what we were asked about, right? So f of negative 4 equals root negative 4 plus 24. Just really just this, you could think of this as copy paste. I just copied what was between the word if and find, and then I just replaced all the x's with negative 4s. And then what? Well, let's simplify inside the radical. So root 20. Well, that's root 4 times 5, which is root 4 times root 5, which is 2 root 5. Just some comments real quick. Just to be careful, turning root negative 4 plus 24 into root negative 4 plus root 24 would use the false formula, root a plus b equals root a plus root b. So let's be sure not to do that. However, you'll notice a thing that was done here was turning root 4 times 5 into root 4 times root 5. That's fine, because that uses the true formula, nth root of a times b equals nth root of a times nth root of b. Let's try another question. Something a little different. If g of x equals x squared plus 2x, let's find and simplify g of n plus 3. Now don't distribute the g here. The g is a function, so this is a process, and now the input is n plus 3. Guess what? All we do is we're going to write g of x equals x squared plus 2x, with the exception of every time we see an x, we're going to replace x with n plus 3. That's all that's going to happen here, right? So g of n plus 3 equals n plus 3 quantity squared plus 2 times quantity n plus 3. And then let's just simplify now, right? So n plus 3 quantity squared, don't just distribute the exponent. That's a made-up formula. Instead, we have to think of this as n plus 3 times n plus 3. When you expand that out, you get m squared plus 6m plus 9. And then in the next part, there's 2 times quantity n plus 3. Let's distribute 2, and you get 2m plus 6. And then if we collect like terms here, you have m squared plus 8m plus 15. Hope that looks okay. Let's try a couple other ones that also look, they each look a little funky, but if we just apply the principles we have, things will be just fine. So let's look at this. If we have the function f of x equals 3x minus 10, let's find and simplify quantity x plus 7 raised to the f of 4. What? Raised to the f of 4? Yeah, all we want to do actually is just take this x plus 7 quantity to the f of 4, and let's just start by simplifying f of 4. Let's not overthink this, right? So I've highlighted this in yellow just to say the x plus 7 in parentheses part, we're not touching it. So how do we replace f of 4? Well, f of 4 is the same as 3 times 4 minus 10. Right? So if the question had just said find f of 4, we would have written f of 4 equals 3 times 4 minus 10. So we're just now replacing f of 4 with what it equals. We're replacing the f of 4 in the yellow box with 3 times 4 minus 10 in the yellow box. Right? This is just doing what that function tells us to do. And so notice in the second yellow box there's no more f. In fact, that's just a number, right? That's 12 minus 10, or better known as 2. So we have x plus 7 quantity to the 2, and now we expand that out. X plus 7 times x plus 7 ends up being x squared plus 14x plus 49. Let's do one more. This also looks strange, but let's just be very literal about what needs to happen. All of the principles we've seen just need to be applied very literal. Don't second guess yourself, and things should work out. So we have this function h of x equals 5x plus 3. Let's solve the equation 4 plus h of x equals 7 plus h of 2. This looks strange because there's a function mentioned at the beginning, and then in the part where it says solve the equation, there's the function h is mentioned twice. Once it's just h of x, and then the other time it's h of 2 with that input 2. All we really need to do is, in writing this equation down in just a moment, replace the h of x we see on the left side with 5x plus 3, because that's what h of x is. Also, replace the h of 2 that we see on the right side with 5 times 2 plus 3. So it's just applying the function, and we'll get 4 plus, just copying 4 plus 5x plus 3 equals 7, that's copying that 7, plus, and then h of 2 gets replaced with 5 times 2 plus 3. Now let's just clean up what we have, right? So on the left side, this is 5x plus 7. On the right side, there's some arithmetic. 7 plus 10 plus 3, that's 20. So now take 5x plus 7 equals 20, subtract 7 on both sides. 5x equals 13, divide both sides by 5, x equals 13 fifths.